Right. So, Shelly, if you want to kick this off, just introduce who you are, tell us more about you, your work, stuff like that.
Hi, yeah, absolutely. My name is Shelly Melcher, and I've been in the yacht industry for about 7 years now.
Mhm.
Basically my brother started out in the industry. He's a captain of a charter boat, and he's part of Sea Access right now. But I thought he would be the only one in the yacht industry, but little did he know that I was going to follow in his footsteps. And I was given the opportunity, like I said, kind of out of the blue, kind of just threw into my lap that I had shown up at a job interview and was given a chance to work for a yacht brokerage, a boutique firm, and fell in love with the opportunity. I was basically not supposed to be a broker at the time.
Mhm.
Basically, was operations manager for the company. I found a small little hole in the what they were looking and needing in their business. So I kind of just took the time to find my own little path. At night, I would spend my nights basically finding listings, hunting listings, and working as a yacht broker on the side until I decided what I was, the value of what I was doing was worthwhile, and presented that to the owner, and basically became a yacht broker from there. So I have found my new passion in life, and I
Yeah.
have been hit the ground running from there.
Yeah, sounds awesome. And actually, touching on something you just said. So you said you found your passion in life. You know, the yachting industry is something you have fun in. So, what do you think drew you to the yachting industry 7 years ago? Because I know you said you've been working in this for 7 years now. So, what exactly gave you that passion or interest in this industry?
Well, our family grew up, near the water. We always had a house in Fort Myers. My mother was always on the boats. Our family grew up, Florida based basically, and any chance we could be on a boat, we always were. So any chance, the water, the ocean is something just calls my name. It's something that's always been so serene, so tranquil to me. But I found a thrill in that, and I found a competitive dynamic. I was very sportsy and athletic growing up. I always hung out with the guys more so than the girls, and any chance I could kind of get my hands wet, dirty a little bit, I would. I'd be the one climbing on the monkey bars or
Mhm.
whatever, play in the mud, whatever I needed to do to hang with the boys. But when I got into that role, I found a niche of a market that I just kind of took over me, that I found that I can utilize a lot of my assets that I had been looking for in a home base, in a job and a career. And it really just gave me an opportunity not only to diversify my portfolio in what I have as, at my fingertips, and what I've learned throughout so many different industries and past careers. I really just was able to drive that into this one dynamic of being a yacht broker and this industry, where it was based on a tradition of
Yeah.
man's shake, something unique, where there was just an admiration, a basically I don't know, just something traditional and unique, and people really had a good repertoire in this industry that was very respectful,
Yeah,
and I
for
just
sure.
put myself
Now,
to.
going back to something you previously mentioned, by the way, so you mentioned you at the beginning you weren't supposed to be a broker, but then you worked your way up to that. So that's kind of a funny story because most of the people I speak to, they're like, I want to become a broker, even though it's like 2 years down the line. That's my long-term vision. So that's very interesting that you actually started off not wanting it, or let's say not that being your plan, but then you ended up here. So can you tell me more about like your experience selling yachts in Florida, or maybe even at the start you said you were hunting listings and like your downtime. So tell us more about that, your yacht selling experiences. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was a different. I never thought about becoming a yacht broker. Like I said, my brother was in this industry.
Mhm.
I just kind of it just fell into my lap. I was really good at taking initiative, being a leader, doing the hard work, taking the time to fulfill roles and niches that were like lacking, and needing a little extra structure or a little extra help to like become successful. I found myself always finding those little holes, and I would kind of gravitate towards them. So naturally, seeing opportunity as well, that people are making these amazing money. Let's be honest, there's some opportunity to make amazing money, but I find a passion in helping people. I've been the person in my whole, like, since day one, what encompasses my who I am as a person. I love to help people, and personally, I found a way that I could help people find something that they really want, that they really are looking for. And that accomplishment of seeing that to the end was just something I took at home, past my 9-to-5 job. Yeah. And I would just kind of take the time to listen to people's needs and really go the extra mile and be like, you know what? This person isn't willing to maybe take the time to find what they're wanting and do the extra hard work and take the time to really do the custom elements that they need to get them what they really want at the end. And I was willing to fight for that. So I would literally spend my evenings for a while. I was married to my job, probably about 18 hours a day out of my 24-hour day. Barely slept, but I kind of took my 9-to-5, fulfilled that role, but I went home and I kept going. And I was like, you know what? There's not many women in this industry. It's a hard, competitive industry. It's a lot of respect, and you have to build for yourself and who you are. You have to really know the ins and outs of the market, and you have to fight for, who you are as a person, and you're bringing the right knowledge and wisdom with you while you're showing this luxury element of a yacht to these clients. And it took some time. It took a lot of learning, a lot of downtime to spend, but I really just found that niche and getting in there. In the beginning, I was, I think my first boat sale that I had accomplished was through the Facebook marketplace. I had found a client that was looking for a Sea Ray, he was selling a Sea Ray. It was a 48 Sea Ray, and he was in Texas, and I was in Florida. So for me, I still was able to find a way to work with this gentleman. He was a very, very kind-hearted gentleman, but he didn't want a yacht broker at first. And I convinced him that I was like, hey, you know what? Let me help you. Just utilize my platform, showcase your vessel, try to find you a buyer, whatever I could do. And I just kind of kept it on the DL. Like, my business owner at the time said I could do these things and gave me some, I would listen to how they did their spiels of business. And then I would take that and I would go home and I'd be like super nerdy, looking it up and really trying to drive forces. And I'd learn and evolve myself and my industry knowledge, and ended up selling it, and he was just so incredibly grateful to me. And, it was a beautiful $500,000 listing. And wow. And I was just proud of what I was able to do and accomplish from that, for that person who was, very, very grateful at the time. So.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That first sale is always the most special one to everyone. No matter how many you sell, it's always that first one that really makes you feel the best. And going back to what you said, as a workaholic myself, I really get what you mean, especially when you start off in this industry. And many people probably look into this industry to see the money that we make and just think that's why I want to get in. Because I know some buyers will listen to this, some sellers, and then some people who want to become brokers are going to be listening to this. So for those people who just want in for the money, what would you say to that? Would you say it's a good driver, or do you think they need some other stuff like passion for boats, maybe passion for helping people find it? What would you say to those people?
I mean, you need a passion for sure. I mean, it took about, to even get to that listing, that first one, you have to be willing to get, like I said, your hands dirty. You need to get rejected a bunch of times. You're not, you're going to get the door slammed in your face. You're going to get cursed out. You're going to be told no. And go blink yourself, all day long. It's not something that's easy whatsoever, but, you've got to stay true to your core as a person that you are. It's not about the dollars and cents for me in the slightest. Don't get me wrong. And people really fight you on that all day long. They're like 10%. That's a huge amount of money that I should be keeping in my pocket. Well, little they know, our platform and through our, systems, our platform, our outreach, our network, we're able to drive forces in a little bit of a different way, where we can list your boat at a higher level price point and try to work with you to get that money back into your pocket, so you're not really sacrificing that much. I work on a custom level where if I need to help somebody, assist them at the end of the sale, I'm sure I can work with you on that too, but no, it takes a lot of passion, because it took 6 months or so to really kind of get your foot in the door, to learn the industry, get your name out there, again, as a woman for this industry, it took me probably about a year before seriously and put my name next to someone else in the yacht broker industry and considered me someone worthy of, utilizing, because it was just very, very difficult. But
yeah,
if you try and you just kind of knock down, but for sure you have to have passion. You've got to have the ability to be rejected, and be able to bounce back from that, and then also even during the process of the sale, you think that you might actually have a sale buyer coming through and ready to throw an offer. You're in negotiations, and all of a sudden, last second, right with the end, it could just blow up in your face and end, and it could not even go through. So stay consistent, stay true. Like, just, you got to be true to your core and know that persistence is going to be key in this.
Yeah, for sure. We've all had those buyers that seem like they're about to buy and then they just go cold, they ghost us. We've all been there, and perseverance is like the #1 trait you need in this industry. Now, touching on what you like just said, I'm a big believer that you always have problems, but your problems just change with you. So the longer you work in this industry, you just get newer and bigger problems. However, something I'd like to know is, like, say what were your challenges as a new broker, then once you're an established broker, what were the challenges then? And right now, what are the challenges that you're facing day to day? So I guess let's start off with, as a new broker, what was that #1 challenge that you had to overcome to get to the next level?
Building trust first, for sure. Building your name and establishing that trust in the industry. Like I said, as a beginner, as a woman, as any new broker, it doesn't matter gender or anything. It does take time to build that trust. They usually tell you, as you begin in this industry, utilize your closest networks and outreach. Reach out to your friends and family, people that are in your direct channels of, current, phone book, go through your phone book and just start sending out some people, because you were in South Florida. Hey, you might have friends and family that already want, to buy a boat from you. Fine. That's where you start. But building trust was the biggest hurdle. It takes time to earn a name for yourself in the industry. I remember working tirelessly to find the right listings, connect with clients on a direct level, prove my value in the competitive market. But once you land like that first big sale, it kind of starts snowballing from there. So as an established broker, I've had the advantage of a network and reputation. But I'm still constantly maintaining that success, and that's a whole nother challenge in itself. Consistency is key, like I said.
Yeah.
I think now that I've transitioned, into more of this role of the full broker and kind of put my name out there in the world, it's been a blend of both challenges and triumphs all day long. So it's incredibly rewarding, but it requires a fresh entrepreneurial mindset. It a lot about leadership, management, client management, being able to take the time to work operationally on the business of just every day in and day out. Every day is different. Every client is different. Everyone's needs are different. It depends on how much time you want to put in, is how much you're going to get out of it at the end of the day. So, and then right now, I think the biggest drivers that we're seeing in this, that as I've been in for, like I said, over 7 years now, we're seeing the changes of the market, and the day-to-day has become a really, we were in COVID days where it was absolutely beautiful and everybody was selling boats and everyone was buying boats. And it was just a remarkable time where money was flowing. We were all at home, and like people were buying boats to spend time with their families in their own little, safe little environment on a boat. Like, what was better? But now that we've seen that, the changes in the market have since then, of course, we're now switching from where it was a seller's market. Now we're into a buyer's market, and with all the changes going on with the interest rates and the market, we're just really learning some new hurdles that we have to overcome. It's taking a lot more time for a sale. People are becoming a little bit more, temperamental into their needs. They're taking more time into trust levels, diversifying and being able to trust a person, and are skittish as to accepting, why do I need to pay you 10% when I can just do it myself? We're seeing a lot more platforms that are coming from these Facebook forum groups that people are kind of creating themselves, and trying to get away from the high price points. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, we're working around everyday hurdles, but it's just, we're evolving every single day. It's been different, but I love a good challenge. So
yeah, for sure. Actually, touching on that specifically, that like we're creating the buyer's market, stuff like that. So if you were speaking to a seller right now, first of all, they're opposed to that 10%, but also at the same time, they really want to sell their boat because they're not using it as much, and you know, they're just paying fees when they're not even using it, but they're also scared of selling it because they know it's a buyer's market. So if you were dealing with a seller like that, what would you tell them right now? Because I know we've been speaking mainly broker-based like discussions, but right now for the sellers that are listening to us and are thinking like, should I sell my boat right now? What would you tell them specifically?
I mean, we're in South Florida. There's never a bad time. There's always going to be people buying and selling boats in South Florida. We are in one thing that I can say is that we are in an amazing, amazing place. Location-wise, international yacht lifestyle is who we are and who we embody. So if you're still interested, there's still, you know, money is still flowing in South Florida in this industry. It's one of the top, you know, key elements of what Florida is, and our economy is really just driving full force for that. We've got an amazing, you know, with our taxes here, you know, you've got an $18,000 cap. They do all these things for a reason, because it's driving the sales and the economy for the yachting industry all into Florida. I encourage highly, of course, you know, to always, if you're looking to sell, you know, there's going to be buyers out there. You know, right now, yes, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a difference from the seller's market to the buyer's market. Again, you know, I will have to have a serious, you know, sit down conversation. My biggest, you know, issue that I've kind of, or struggle I've had thus far recently with clients is that during COVID, again, it's kind of been a difficult situation for them to comprehend that prices back then were unheard of. You know, a boat is basically just like a luxury car, or, you know, luxury aviation. You've got your jets and your cars and your yachts. They're all on the same tier level as when you're talking about it's a depreciating asset. So, you know, technically we're seeing during COVID, which was unheard of, boats were getting sold within a day. I was selling a boat within sometimes 13 hours of the moment I had it listed. They were getting sold for a bidding war. There was people going above and beyond just to get these boats and above listing prices. And the average sale of a boat was beyond what it was basically worth the normal value of. So from that point right now, again, we're going a year and a half later, where we're switching the markets and we're seeing all high interest rates. We're seeing boat values going back down to kind of where they were supposed to be at originally. The realistic prices are not what sellers want to see. So if they were buying and selling, or if they were buying at that time a boat during the last year, and a lot of people are right now selling those boats because we're coming back to a life where, you know, we're not able to have as much downtime again to spend on the boats, and people are realizing that boats cost money, you know, constantly to fix up and update, and things on boats go wrong and break down. You got to keep up with them. It takes a lot of money and work. But, you know, at the end of the day, the prices are coming down a little bit. Yeah, you're coming down to more realistic numbers, but I'm able to work with them on what their needs are, what they want to do. And I can help, you know, on our end through our platforms, receive a reporting system of like, okay, we want to list the boat at this price. We can show you what we're seeing on incoming traffic from buyers, but, you know, if we adjust that price down to where the more competitive prices are right now, we'll see, you know, you'll see a little bit more of a flex of a higher number of incoming traffic, you know, maybe see the sale kind of happen more so than not. You know, they can choose to wait out the boat, you know, the sale of the boat, and wait for the right number, but that might take a couple months when we see the economy again transition again from the buyers to the sellers market again. And, you know, maybe coming up in the new year, we might see some after the political party kind of diversifies, and then we see more, you know, transfluent, you know, transparency into what's coming in our future for this next 4 years. There's going to be a lot of new changes that are going to be coming, but we'll work with what they want to do at the end of the day. You know, we'll make them happy. We'll do all that we can through our outreach, through our marketing, through our digital marketing plans, and drive forces, and make sure that their boat is is getting to the niche market that is necessary to sell their boat. And again, we'll have that discussion of offer potential from there, but we'll get the job done.
All right, for sure. And now to actually mirror that question, let's say you're dealing with a buyer, they really want to buy, but they keep telling you like, every time I want to make an offer, I feel like the price might go down from there. If you had a buyer who is serious about buying, he wants to buy as soon as possible, but is worried that the market might change and he's just waiting for that perfect price, what would you say to like that? Would you tell him like pull the trigger now, wait it out?
There's no perfect price. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm a bulldog when it comes to negotiations. I fight for what my client wants and what my client needs. It doesn't hurt to try. What's the worst case scenario? We go in guns a-blazing, see what we can do with what you're saying, your price point and offer opportunity is. We can have that initial discussion. I go in, talk to the other broker, the listing broker, or directly with the seller, if that's the case, and I'm representing both parties, see how they feel. And the worst case scenario is we do a counter, negotiation discussion. The price point may go down, but if we kind of come in at an original, what their budgetary needs, are needing and wanting, and what they think that this could be worth, or they can get a great deal on, then sure, let's go in. We can present the offer. The worst case scenario is you get rejected, and I'm going to give them my realistic beliefs and my feelings, and I'm going to give them a competitive market analysis of what the value of the boat really should be or looks like and what we'll probably get the boat for. But at the end of the day, you're going to deal with people that are going to listen to you and sometimes not listen to you. But the client comes first, and it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, for sure. And to any buyer who's listening, so essentially, if you need someone who will fight for your price, Shelly's the person for you. Just opt in right now. We'll get you the best deals. Opt in, buy your boat today with us. Now, moving on to our next question from here, though. So I know you mentioned use Facebook Marketplace. You mentioned some more digital marketing avenues. So my first question here is, over like your entire time as a broker, how would you say the market has changed in terms of marketing, in terms of where you position yourself as a broker, where you market your boats? Because I know we started off in like a very different place, like let's say 10 years ago, and then right now it's just way different in terms of where we market our boats. So what would you say to that? How has it changed so far?
I mean, overall, because of the changes and evolution of technology, I mean, we've definitely seen an advancement in our technology exposure to our industry as well. Even though the boating industry is the most, like I said, traditional based, we don't usually change and evolve as quickly as most industries do. But I mean, we have seen a dramatic change in that evolution in our technology ranges, and people are catching up with our, digital dynamic of marketing and advertising and keeping up with the technology advancements. We're definitely seeing, not only are the major platforms where people are always utilizing as a broker. We use our platform for Boat Wizard, which is the boat trader, the Yacht World, boats.org, International Yacht Broker Association. We're utilizing our platform where, you have to be a broker to access some of those, especially Yacht World. And we get, the inside scoop directly with our other fellow brokers for the sales. But honestly, because of the changes, like I've said, a lot of people have, the prices have, changed. The prices are going up because of the monopoly style, platform that was showcasing. People were solely, using these platforms and driving those boutique sale or brokers out of business. I mean, they could barely afford to be able to market and advertise. And then buyers and sellers are also, expanding their horizons. You're seeing some more competitive markets, now finally through like the Facebook kind of was like up and down for a little while. I think we saw a little bit of, in the early days, a little bit of spam and, kind of, it was dangerous territory because you don't want to see, you're filtering through some of these spam people that are doing those robots, sending out like just to, kind of catch you for God knows what reason, they try to take your money and whatever else. Like, we're trying to protect our clients at all time through all aspects of this, deal from day one. So for us, that was kind of dangerous. Now we're seeing that changes where actually Facebook forum groups and marketplace has really become a go-to, and they're actually getting a lot more exposure and traffic, and a lot more sales and deals are coming through that, which is crazy. And you'll see it even through, the Craigslist or the Reddits or, LinkedIn. You'll see a lot more these direct Google, and I'm seeing a lot more actually even I'm kind of a tech nerd at the end of the day, but I was Googling and a lot more platforms are coming up. More and more platforms competitively are trying to get out there and compete against them to get the extra exposure. So, using all those channels, we're going to utilize all of our social media. That's huge. People in our boating industry, like our boat yards and our marine fellow, connections and networks, that's huge. But the change has been very dramatic in the last year, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually come from a tech background as well. And so when I actually started off in this industry, that was my vision, to sort of have our company not only use like Boat Wizard and Boat Trader or Yacht World, the typical MLS systems, but also use all the different marketing channels. So you see stuff like Google ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, LinkedIn posting, organic posts. And right now, for anyone who lists with us, we do all that for them. We don't just get them on the MLS. We make posts for them. We make individual ads. We build them a website for the individual boat. And at the beginning, when we started doing that, just like you mentioned, Facebook had those bots. People were scared of scams, stuff like that. And many people said that, let's say for boats that are worth millions of dollars, no one would be scrolling on Facebook or Instagram and then want to opt in. But right now, we get literally 80% of our buyers from these social media pages. And so I completely agree with that last statement, that like right now, it's dramatically how much we've changed over the last year. Because right now, everything digitally is doing significantly better than anything else we've seen before. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Stuff, it's been, we're now we're doing a lot more from, VR kind of virtual walkthroughs and from distance to kind of help bridge that gap of distance for people, the international barriers. It's really advanced, and it's been amazing things. And we're going to continue to see a whole lot more.
For sure. And especially with new boat builds as well. So something we found that works very well when we're selling our new boat builds is we get on Zoom calls with virtual walkthroughs. So they can literally experience the boat before it's even built from like the 3D renders we have, and they can see how it is. And so literally someone sitting from the comfort of their home could be shopping for their next yacht purchase. So yeah, I do agree. It's an amazing amount of changes.
From Adrenaline power boats and their new Reapers, the 42 and the 47 Reaper, they're custom builds, and they're working hands-on with clients. And those babies are some beautiful, beautiful center consoles, but they're fully customizable. And the way that they can do that with virtual reality and seeing that craftsmanship built from day one is amazing. It's amazing. So.
Yeah, sure. Now, going back to something that you previously mentioned as well. So I believe right now you started your own brokerage firm. So I do want to understand, what made you want to do that transition? Why did you start your own brokerage firm? Like, what got you here?
I really kind of have dabbled in, like I said, I've always kind of dabbled in the past careers and finding my niche. And once, and I was taking over the original company that I was working at, where I started everything, and my early days of becoming a yacht broker. The gentleman that was there was looking to step down and find someone to take over the business. And my family, my mother, especially, we have a family-run business back home in Illinois, and it also expands down to South Florida. And she was a businesswoman and a career-driven woman. I always knew that I wanted to be in a Fortune 500 company. I always wanted to be a big, successful career woman. Business was in my blood. And for me, finding that right niche home of a business, what I was always just looking to find. And it kind of just came to me that day. Once I got into that one role, I found the passion, I found, the drive, I found a purpose, and I just kind of ran with it. And I really just found that I can utilize all my assets. I found that, there's a lot of room to grow. I've got a lot of, unique ways of doing business, but I'm a very custom, genuine person that really puts my clients first. And I just feel like the industry itself has really lost a lot of its genuine heart and who we are and how we go about it. The name has just been lost in transition, and really just kind of been put down because of people fighting for the dollars and cents at the end of the day. Yeah. I just found that, I was good at what I did. I found people that were in the industry that I just found that were amazing, genuine people that were good-hearted, people that I could trust, that I can lean on to send my clients to, and that they're going to fulfill the job. There were very few. It was sad to say, but when I did find someone, we clung on to one another and really drove each other business wise, like throwing each other business, helping each other out, doing what we could to like build each other up. And honestly, it just kind of grew. My reputation had grew. My client base name has just been lost in transition, and really just kind of been put down because of people fighting for the dollars and cents at the end of the day. Yeah. I just found that, you know, I was good at what I did. I found people that were in the industry that I just found that were amazing, genuine people that were good-hearted, people that I could trust, that I can lean on to send my clients to, and that they're going to fulfill the job. You know, there were very few. It was sad to say, but when I did find someone, you know, we clung on to one another and really drove each other business-wise, like throwing each other business, helping each other out, doing what we could to like build each other up. And honestly, it just kind of grew. My reputation had grew, my client base, you know, grew, and people just kind of continued to reach out and follow up with me. And I just kind of, again, found by putting my voice out there as a woman, a lot of other fellow women were wanting to know how I became a broker. How do I too become a broker? And I kind of started having these conversations and giving the hope and the, you know, the pep talks of like, you know, you can, like, it's like, you know, you can do it, but just be ready to get, you know, a little bit knocked down a few times. If you can handle it, just get right back up. It just kind of came to me. Eventually I really wanted to do something, and I just found a place that I think that I will be successful at and I won't give up on. And you know, I want to do business the way that I would want someone to treat me, and give people back, you know, something in good in return, a value that like is just intangible, like something that my heart is able to like bring to the table on top of the sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And so actually touching on that, let's say somebody wanted to like get into the yachting industry, become a broker. What would be like your top one or like the best word of advice that you would give them as they're starting off as a broker? I know you said like perseverance, like if you get like hit down, just get back up and continue. But other than that, is there anything you'd tell them, or just be persevered and keep going?
Let's see. I mean, definitely have to, I mean, let me think here. I mean, there's so many like lessons that I've learned. You can't do everything yourself. You know, I've learned that, you know, surrounding yourself with good, talented, trustworthy people is crucial. You have to be adaptable. You have to be able to adapt to your climate and your environment, each client's needs, whatever the market change may come for. Your clients are going to evolve, you're going to evolve, but you have to constantly evolve with them. And you're never going to be able to, like, you know, you're not going to get the yeses all the time. Every successful person is going to get some sort of a knockdown, but just persevere. Honestly, if you can persevere, keep going, be ready to, like, you know, cover yourself during the ups and downs. You know, the highs and the lows are really mentally exhausting sometimes. It can really be something that can be a little bit, you know, a little difficult to get through, because I've been in places where I have been at the very finish line of a deal, and it's like you're seeing, oh, it's going to be a great one. I'm going to have a nice, you know, paycheck come out of this. I worked so hard. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this. But then all of a sudden it just blows up your face and it doesn't even happen. So, you know, persevere, you know, honestly, just adapt to the surroundings and accept the highs and the lows, because that's just how it is. It's got some great highs and it's got some very low lows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every broker out there would really feel that sentence right there. So for every new broker, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. There will be downtimes, but you just got to push through. And that's what makes great brokers great, just pushing through those dark times. Now, yeah, you mentioned, so one of your favorite parts of the industry is just like helping people out, you know, the good feeling you get once you help someone make a purchase. So is there any story that comes to mind, maybe like your favorite deal, a memorable deal, a deal that you always look back on and say like, I'm so thankful I got the chance to do that? Just give us like a story, maybe your favorite deal you've ever closed.
One of my favorite deals, oh man, I mean, there's been so many. Honestly, a lot of the things, you know, when you see, I love just seeing the happily ever afters at the end. I love when clients send me pictures of their families, like enjoying their new memories on board their yacht. But one story came to mind of There was a gentleman that I was working with that was, he was a businessman out of town, and I basically he was purchasing one of my listings that was a Chris Craft, and he was trying, it was probably about a week before Christmas time, and he was trying to get this boat purchased as a surprise to his family and brought over to Naples and have the boat in pristine shape. It needed a few things done with it. He wanted a few upgrades done to it. And it was the week before Christmas time, and it was basically the whole industry was shut down. And I was on a crucial time crunch, and there was barely anybody even picking up their phones at the time. And I had worked with the gentleman, got the deal done, and purchased and sold and negotiations and that portion of the deal done. But I told him I would assist him above and beyond after the sale even, and connected him with some of my own personal contacts in that industry for some extra work that he wanted done. And I assisted him to get it to transport it over there perfectly in time for the surprise of his family, and had them all recorded, had the captain even provided for him to drive up with the surprise and show up. And it was like a beautiful moment because he was just so grateful to me for being able to accomplish things that probably nobody else could have done in a time where it was the hardest thing I thought I could have done. But it was important to him, and it really meant so much to me to see that through. So
I mean, honestly, during Christmas time, that must have been like a nightmare to deal with. But I guess at the end, the reward was just absolutely worth it. Seeing the smile on their faces with a yacht for Christmas, that must have been beautiful.
It was awesome. I was like, oh, I just should have put like the pretty shiny red bow on there, and I was like, it was everything. So I don't think many people would have been able to pull that off, but I had seen the light, and I was not going to stop until it was done.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Now, just for some closing statements, so I know you've been working with us as 365 Yachts in terms of like marketing, setting up like a digital presence, using online ads now rather than just having boats on the MLS. So how would you say that has changed the number of leads that are coming in, or how has it changed the number of deals that you're expected to close each month? Just run me down. How do you think like working with us has been so far?
I mean, absolutely amazing. I mean, number one, you guys have been the best support I've probably ever seen from any team I've ever worked with, hands down. You guys work almost as much as I do, if not more, because I thought I was a lunatic and worked way too much every day. But you guys are right there with me day in and day out. But the support that you guys have given has been so essential in growing the business and seeing, the exciting, dynamic of just how many leads come through and how the personal approach that we're taking, to keep these leads, each one customized to their needs and keeping afloat and communicating with them directly and staying on top of it. It's been amazing to see the impact of interest come through. You guys have really penetrated a niche market of digital marketing, and it's been amazing because so many clients I've worked with, for other companies competitively, they've been established in the industry for so long now, and they're struggling right now to penetrate through the market and find a workflow, a process, a marketing platform that is able to bring leads in or get to the niche market or drive the SEO to find these potential leads. And you guys really, I commend you, because honestly, the ability that you guys have found to create such a successful platform and the approach you guys take has been absolutely amazing. It's truly commendable to what you do. The attention to detail sets you so far apart. The clients are very respected. You guys communicate from day one. You don't let things fall through. It's been an amazing opportunity just to see, be a part of it, number one, but to see the growth and just see how far you guys are moving, and how far you're able to take this.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for those kind words. Made me feel a lot better about what we do here. I guess now for any buyer or seller out there who want to get in touch with you, who want to work with you, how they get in contact with you?
You can reach me anytime directly through myself. My phone number, 561-445-9241. I'm always attached to it. But they can reach us anytime, guiding onto our 365.org. We are on that site. You can kind of learn a little bit about our background at all times. We've got a little bit of our bio info up there, but a little bit further info as to our who we are, what we do, and all the services we're able to perform for you. You can email me anytime. I'll put that up there on the details here at the end. So my availability is literally 24/7. I don't turn my phone off or don't stop working. So I'm here to help any client in need to get you the job done.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone, the link to our website, 365yachts.org, will be posted in the comments. If you ever need to sell or buy a yacht, you can just reach out there. If you want to reach out to one of us personally, our bios is on the website itself as well, so you can reach out to us. But with that, Shelly, thank you so much for your time today. And I guess we have some sellers and buyers to attend to right now, so I guess I'll leave you to it.
They're blowing us up. We got to get moving. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.